Hidden beneath layers of sediment and time, the Grand Canyon has always been a place of mystery and geological grandeur. But even for a site long studied by scientists and researchers, what was recently discovered in a previously restricted area has defied conventional understanding and sent waves of astonishment through the global scientific community. The Forbidden Zone, marked off limits for decades due to both preservation concerns and unexplained geological instability, was finally accessed during a joint expedition involving geologists, archaeologists, and deep Earth imaging specialists. What they found wasn't just surprising, it was paradigm shifting. Before we start, smash the like and subscribe buttons for more updates. The area in question lies beyond the reach of most standard routes, tucked within a jagged ravine where satellite mapping once showed unusual electromagnetic anomalies. These readings, dismissed in the past as sensor errors or mineral interference, were the very clues that reignited interest in the forbidden sector. Upon entry, aided by new drone tech and LiDAR scanning systems, the research team was confronted with a vast subterranean complex that bore none of the natural patterns typically associated with cave or canyon formation. Rather than being a hollowed-out cavern or weather-eroded crevice, the space showed deliberate symmetry, structural geometry, and material composition inconsistent with any known ancient culture native to the area. Lining the inner walls of the chamber were tall, monolithic slabs arranged in a spiral pattern, made of a dark stone unlike anything cataloged in North American geology. The slabs emitted faint residual heat, though no internal power source or chemical process could be identified to explain this energy. Along the floor, embedded in nearly perfect intervals, were small crystalline nodes, hexagonal and translucent, that responded dynamically to the team's presence. When approached, these crystals glowed in varying hues, suggesting a form of reactive intelligence or energy feedback loop not seen in any prior archaeological discovery. What immediately alarmed the scientists was the complete absence of debris, dust, or decay within the chamber. It was as if the space had been shielded from time, its air pure, its structures untouched by erosion or intrusion. Some researchers speculated that the area had been protected by an unknown form of magnetic field or subterranean pressure vault. But the presence of what appeared to be engineered constructs, coupled with inexplicable temperature gradients and radiation pockets, made that hypothesis insufficient. Whatever forces preserved this place, they were beyond current technological explanation. Further into the chamber, another anomaly stunned the team. An obelisk-shaped device rising from the center of the spiral formation. About 12 feet tall, perfectly smooth, and jet black with a surface that absorbed rather than reflected light, the object appeared to be suspended slightly above the ground by an unseen force. Motion sensors confirmed that it had no physical contact with the floor beneath it. When the team approached, instruments picked up non-random vibrations emanating from the object. Frequencies that bore mathematical patterns echoing the Fibonacci sequence and prime number intervals. It was a language of order embedded in resonance. This obelisk was not a relic, nor was it composed of any known alloy. Material analysis using spectrometry and elemental breakdown revealed elements in combinations not found naturally on Earth. Even trace isotopes within the structure suggested interstellar origin. Or at the very least, the manipulation of atomic properties at a level humanity has yet to master. One researcher likened the material to a programmable form of matter, able to alter its state depending on external stimuli, a concept only theorized in advanced materials science circles. Radiating from the obelisk, shallow grooves etched into the canyon floor formed concentric circles filled with fine metallic dust, the composition of which included traces of yttrium, osmium, and unknown elements with half-lives far exceeding those on the periodic table. When these grooves were lightly touched, the entire chamber emitted a low-frequency hum that resonated through the rock walls and into the open canyon beyond. The effect was immediate. Animals in the surrounding environment became alert or agitated, and camera equipment malfunctioned intermittently, as if the place interfered with electromagnetic systems in specific frequencies. The implications of this discovery stretch far beyond traditional archaeology or geology. The canyon, long revered by indigenous cultures as a sacred space with untold depth, now appeared to house something more ancient than any known civilization, possibly predating humanity altogether. The spiral configurations, the harmonic resonance, the energy-reactive crystals, and the anti-gravity obelisk collectively pointed to either an extraterrestrial presence or a lost civilization that reached a technological zenith far surpassing anything recorded in historical texts. The question of how such a structure remained hidden for so long in one of the most studied natural formations on the planet is just as mystifying. The restricted status of the area had discouraged thorough investigation, partly due to unexplained fatalities and equipment loss reported by earlier expeditions in the mid-20th century. Anecdotes from park rangers and early geologists spoke of disorientation, sudden power failures, and inexplicable time lapses near the region. These tales, once brushed off as folklore or altitude-induced hallucinations, now carry an entirely new weight. Adding another layer of enigma, glyph-like markings were found on several walls of the chamber. Lines, curves, and spirals etched with atomic-level precision. These symbols bore no resemblance to any known language or petroglyph in Native American history. They did, however, resemble fractal formations and quantum fields when mapped digitally. Specialists from multiple disciplines, including linguistics, quantum physics, and ancient symbology, are now collaborating to decode what could be the first message left behind by a civilization not of this Earth, or at least one so advanced it might as well be alien. Further exploration led to the discovery of what appeared to be passageways descending deeper into the canyon's substrata. These tunnels, shielded by rock formations impervious to standard excavation tools, required advanced plasma cutters and ultrasonic vibration drills to open. Once inside, the team encountered a series of chambers whose temperatures remained unnaturally constant, regulated without any visible heating or cooling systems. Embedded in the walls were veins of an unknown metal that pulsed softly with internal light, reminiscent of fiber optic pathways, yet organic in their responsiveness. A particularly startling find came when researchers activated a sequence of pressure points on a carved panel, triggering a slow mechanical movement within the floor. Rising from beneath the chamber was a translucent sphere floating without support, containing what looked like a 3D projection of planetary systems. As it rotated, familiar star constellations appeared alongside unfamiliar ones, some of which suggested binary systems and dark matter clusters only recently theorized by astrophysicists. The sphere functioned as a map, but not just of Earth. It depicted stellar locations both within and far beyond the Milky Way. Coordinates were etched into rings surrounding the sphere, and some bore electromagnetic signatures still active. It's difficult to overstate how this discovery challenges the bedrock of modern science. The Grand Canyon was always a place of ancient wonder, but it now presents evidence of technology that interacts with biology, physics, and cosmic geometry in ways that cannot yet be reverse engineered. The presence of an apparent energy language encoded in sound, light, and vibration redefines the possible interfaces between intelligent systems and the natural world. The concept of resonance as communication, used instead of speech or symbols, suggests a sentient design, something far beyond human conceptualizations of intelligence or culture. Equally fascinating is the discovery's potential to alter the timeline of human history. If this structure existed long before the accepted rise of modern civilization, it forces a reevaluation of humanity's origins and the developmental ceiling we've assumed. Were there other civilizations before us? Was knowledge lost or suppressed over tens of thousands of years? Or are we simply the newest wave of intelligence to stumble upon an inheritance we barely understand? Speculation surged as the exploration continued. Could this be a seed site? An ancient relay or outpost from an interstellar network? Was this a dormant hub awaiting activation or rediscovery? The symmetrical, recursive designs throughout the chamber mimic neural networks and DNA strands, implying the builders understood not just the mechanics of the universe, but its biological underpinnings. That raises the possibility of intentional seeding, of life or consciousness itself, across different planetary systems. If true, this discovery would mean the Grand Canyon has been more than a natural marvel. It was chosen, perhaps long ago, for its geophysical stability and vibrational qualities as a keeper of ancient secrets. And yet, amid all the technological marvels and cosmic suggestions, one aspect stood out as particularly unnerving: the sensation of presence. Multiple team members, independently of one another, reported a strange awareness within the chamber, as if being observed not maliciously but with clinical curiosity. Some described faint visual distortions, Others heard low murmurs at the edge of perception. It suggested an active intelligence, not necessarily physical, but ambient and aware. The chamber, in a sense, felt alive. What was discovered in the forbidden area of the Grand Canyon is not just a curiosity or scientific oddity. It is a confrontation with the limits of our knowledge, a mirror held up to the narrow scope through which humanity has so far viewed existence. This hidden complex, perfectly preserved and pulsing with ancient logic, invites questions not only about the past, but about the nature of time, reality, and our place within it. Even now, the research continues, deeper layers being revealed with each passing day. But what is already known is enough to unsettle centuries of thought and exploration. The Grand Canyon, once believed to be a cradle of erosion and natural artistry, has revealed itself to be something far more profound, a vault of lost intelligence, possibly not our own, placed beyond reach until we were ready or daring enough to uncover it. If you liked this video, please give it a like and subscribe to our channel. Also, leave your comments below and tell us, what are your thoughts on the shocking Grand Canyon discovery scientists just revealed? We want to hear from you. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.